Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. I am Jay Eskar, and today I'm going to be explaining you how I did my latest release titled Chakra, which was released a couple of days ago. I know I haven't made videos in a kind of long time, a couple of weeks, maybe months, but I can assure you I will finally stop procrastinating because that's my main issue, and I will make a bunch of videos starting this week, hopefully. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the track first. My idea when making this song was to release it on Dharma, which is Kashmir's label, and I actually sent it to them, but they said it didn't fit, which is kind of weird to me because it really does sound like them, but it didn't really matter. I ended up self-releasing it because there was no other label I made this for. Like, I legitimately opened FL Studio. I legitimately opened it, and it was a blank project. And the first thing that I had, like, my idea was to make everything for Dharma. Like, even everything. Melody-wise, mixing-wise, everything was literally built for Dharma, but they didn't like it. So, I self-released it, and it's still doing well because you guys are the best. So yeah, how did I start with it? How did I start with this? First thing that I did was making chords. Easy. I mean, it's not easy, but that's the easiest way to start making music. So this is what I did. Just simple pad. Let me add this. Easy. And then I made a melody on top of that. Very basic melody. I just open a pluck sounding thing. I don't know what this is. Yeah, more chords. These are actually the chords that I started with. Just simple chords, which I'm actually using in the drop as well. Before I go into the melody, I want to show you a little bit more. I actually added a bass line. As you can see, this one sounds like an old, like some sort of old sound design thing. Like some dubstep sounds. Then sub/bass. This was actually Reese from Drum and Bass. So, and this is, yeah, another bass line that sound like this one. Same idea. Why am I showing you this? It's because the reason I'm showing you this is because paying attention to the breakdown is as important as paying attention to the drop. Nowadays, I get a lot of demos sent where I just listen to the breakdown. It's only a sub and a piano and maybe a vocal that they found on Splice, and that's good. That's not bad, but put some effort into the breakdown as well because it does make an impact. You want to catch the listener's attention from the beginning, not as the drop, not when the drop hits. Because if your breakdown lasts for 1 minute, maybe the listener will just stop even before the drop hits. So focus on everything because everything is important. Every little, this is how I see life. Every single thing that you do, every single action that you do will affect your future. So this is exactly what this is. Every little detail that you add to the song will affect the final image. Doesn't matter if it's too like super small, but you will notice it at the end. After making the progression, the chord progression, I added some drums, which are basically the whole song, and it sounds like this. They add a lot of rhythm and they make it sound a little bit more Dharma. That's what I wanted to do, you know. For those of you asking, I consolidated this because my computer was actually using almost 11 megabytes of RAM. Oh no, 11 gigabytes of RAM. So I didn't want my PC to die. Yeah, all this is a kind of big project. As you can see, I most of the times put all my automations all the way down. And yeah, I added more drums, I think. Yeah, those are the only drums in the beginning. I also added another type of drums later on, just shakers. They're super low in volume. You can barely hear it. But when you add the bass line, the chords, and the pluck, it sounds like this. Like I've said, these plucks are super simple. It's only two plucks. One of them sound like this, and the other one sounds like this. As you can see, they have a lot of delay and a lot of reverb. And the way I do my stuff so it doesn't clash with each other is using send channels. As you can see them on the right, I have one reverb, then I have one called normal reverb, and then I have one called delay. The reason I do this is, first of all, saving CPU space, or usage, whatever. If you use send channels, you're not gonna have to use, because right now I have 102 channels. Let's say I use reverb for all of them. How's my computer gonna react to that? It might just explode, you know? So I use a send channel, and I have one reverb for all of those 102 channels. Not that I'm gonna use it for all of them, but just saying in case I want to. As well as the delay. Another reason why I use one single thing is because it will keep your mix cleaner. Because the way you want to think about mixing, or the way I think about mixing, actually this isn't supposed to be a rule. The way I think about it, it's a box, and every song has a type of box. The box is basically the reverb decay, the reverb depth, how big it is, you know. So you want to make your sounds fit into this box. That's how I think about it. It might not make sense, but I still need to explain this. Think about it as a box, and everything needs to be part of the box. If it's a different type of reverb, it might feel weird inside the box, you know. It might not fit the box, and that's why I kind of see it. It's hard to explain, but I have two reverbs which are basically doing the same thing, but one of them is being controlled in the drop by some sort of ducking effect. And yeah, this is literally the melody of the drop. And as you can see, it has a lot of slide notes, because that's what Arabic music is. It's a lot of going up and down and up and down. Like the notes are not sustained in one note. Otherwise, it doesn't really, like this part. If I remove the slides, it's just when I have this, it's like it cries a little bit more. But yeah, this is how the melody looks, and this is how it sounds. Pretty basic. What else do I have in this? Oh, I have an extra sound that it's actually an Arabic sound, I think, or an Indian. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And it's just helping the melody, so you can hear it in the background. Simple. How did I make this? It was with a free plugin, I think. Yeah, DSK Dreams. Very cool plugin. They're free. DSK. I suggest you guys get it. And I used it for the part of the melody that I wanted to stand out. Like that, the part that I want you guys to remember. Ding, 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 ding. That's the most important part. I have some extra effects in the background, like, I don't know why the project's saving right now. I have a lot of extra stuff, like, uplifters. Orchestral uplifter. And then crashes. Some sort of bong crash. And then, yeah, it's pretty simple. Actually, the breakdown is pretty simple. It's basically how I think about the breakdown, and it can help you guys, is I think it as a deconstruction of the drop most of the times, because there's you can also do other kind of stuff, like a way completely different breakdown. But in this case, I wanted the breakdown to show everyone how the drop was going to sound, but not quite there. You know, just a little bit more relaxed drop, you know. So that's how basically this breakdown is a relaxed drop. That's how I see it. and that's how you could see some of your breakdowns as well. So simple. I also added this little clap hi-hat kind of thing. It actually has a lot of lows, low mids. I would remove this now, but I didn't. And then I have the same fills that I'm using in the drop just to transition into the build up, as you can hear. Pretty simple, just this and this. Easy. As you can see, everything is linked into my channels, and everything has a low or a high cut. I'm getting rid of all the lows. Always get rid of the lows, except on the sub and the kick. That will help you a lot. That's a great tip. I'm using a cashmere long fill. I have a downlifter here, just white noise, and then a long sweeps up. It's pretty easy, and just a sub drop here. If you're wondering what this is, these aren't actually drop chords. Like I've said, they're just the bases of the freaking breakdown. And then I have in the drop I'm using chords, and I had to consolidate them because they're really heavy. They sound like this. This breakdown is pretty short, but I made it short to keep the listener's attention. Because otherwise, like I've said, nowadays breakdowns cannot be 2 minutes or 5-7 minutes long because people are just gonna leave, at least in our genre. So yeah, this is another sound that I have consolidated, and it's actually the drop lead, and that's purely for the build up. I also have the bass line. If you play them together, they come in the build up. Let's play it all. You can hear it very far, but it makes it stand out a little bit more that the pluck is playing, but without the pluck. Just keeping the energy there. The vocals are... Where are the vocals? I think down here. Yeah. I have a lot of vocals, but one of them sound like this. Another one sounds like this. Another one sounds like this. One is panned to the left and one is panned to the right. I just want to make them bigger. Together they sound like this. And then I automated the pitch here. I thought they sounded like Dharma kind of stuff, but they didn't really do the work that I wanted them to do. But still, I'm happy self-releasing it because I love this song. This is actually from a Cashmere pack, but they don't sound like that normally. I changed the pitch. And I changed the rhythm, I think, if I'm not wrong. And then in the drop, I have some chords that sound like this. That's how the drop started. After making the chords in the breakdown, I started with some chords in the drop, and they sound like this. Then I made kick, which is actually two layers. Main kick, second kick, just wider. And then I added wait, why is it saving again? I added some claps in the background to make it wider. Then another one. Then another one. It just makes everything wider. And then I added the actual pre-shifted claps that we tend to hear on Future Bounce. And it sounds like this. Very short and very bright. Then I added another one. And then I added another one. They're pretty similar and they all have the same things. Just getting rid of the lows. Literally. Just getting rid of the lows and focusing on leveling first. As you can see here, everything has the volume I thought sounded good for them, So it's very important to keep attention to leveling. Then I have a ride, and then I have some hi-hats. Then another hi-hat. Another hi-hat loop. And just simple effects in the background, like downlifter, downlifter, just some reverse sweep every often. Then another loop. And then for the transition of the drop, I'm using the same vocal. Just to keep the energy going. Pretty easy. Pretty easy, not gonna lie. All the drums sound like this together. Let me just disable this sounds. But all the drop sound, all the drop without any leads sound like this. Pretty basic. Just make sure that everything's on their own spot. And I actually used the vocal and I cut some of it, and I made it a uplifter or some sort of high energy thing that I put in the second part of the drop just to keep the energy going. So anyways, after making the progression of the chords, you basically have the bass line. It's literally this, just the low melodies. Literally that. And I'm following the same rhythm, so bass line sounds like this. Thus, the bass consists of a sub, another bass, another bass, and another bass. All together sound like this. And together with the chords, they make them a little bit even bigger. Sound like this. I would even see the chords as part of both the bass and the leads. So that's how I thought about them. Like, I wanted them to fit both and help both things. So sounds like this. And then I added some leads. I don't know if this is the main one, but this is some plucks. Actually, these are the main leads. This is how it sounded. Pretty easy. The leads are conformed of a lot of sounds. One of them sounds like this. Pretty basic. Next. I know it's crashing a little bit. I'm not crashing, but lagging. I'm sorry. They're very heavy. Then there's another sound. Then another sound. Then another sound. So most of them are super sauce. That's what I wanted them to be. They're all linked to one channel, which has a endless smile, which I'm doing a filter reverb filter. That's why every time they stop, the sound, the reverb goes soft, because I'm just automating this. It's very simple. And then I have an aux for an inflator, which just makes it a little bit louder and tighter. And for all the drop leads are basically just EQ'd and distorted. So Camel Crusher, OTT, and that's it. Maybe some of them have a stereo imager, but that's pretty much it. But then I added more because I felt like there weren't enough leads. So I added this other leads that sound like this. Way bigger. Without them, they sound like this. And when you add them, it really makes it sound bigger. So let's play the drop without the extra layers, and this is how it sounds. And without them, it's basically dead. Let me just make this faster. by closing all the plugin windows. All right. Now we're gonna play the drop again without the sounds that are really helping the lead. This is how they sound. And with them. So what did I do to this drop leads? And the trick is, if you're watching this video, you're gonna learn a lot. The trick here is distortion. I know it's basic, but it's distortion. Distortion what's helping this. So let's listen to this leads. They're actually just 3, I think. Yeah, this is the first lead. But it's so distorted. It's distorted within the synth, and then it's distorted outside as well. Then I have another sound that sounds like this as well, super distorted. And then another one. All of them sound like this. And they add some of those mid frequencies that were needed, and that's how I see layering. Just add stuff that your other sound needs. Easy. Don't just like, I see a lot of people trying to layer, but they layer sounds that don't even go with each other. So my tip is listen to your sound. All right, so let's listen to this sounds. What does it need? It needs in my opinion, as soon as I hear this, I know it needs mid highs, and maybe a little bit of highs, and maybe a little bit of mids. So that's what I do. I find a layer that sounds, either find or create layers that sound like this. Like exactly the sounds that I want. So now, when you put them together, they sound really full. Not only that, but I also have a layer that helps, sorry, I don't know why, I think I'm growing up. That's why my voice sounds like that. Every often, I add some other plugs or leads that just help accentuate some part of the melody that I want you to remember. And that's what I add this part every often. This one's completely different, but it adds up. It adds up to the ambience, which was my idea. So the drop ends up sounding like this. As you can see here, I'm actually automating the reverb of the leads. And it's actually the reverb of the endless smile. Without it, it sounds like this. As you can see, it just stops, but with it, pretty basic, pretty easy. And on the transition, I have the chords and a bass line. Actually, no, it's just another lead. In the second part of the breakdown, in the second breakdown, I actually have some, it's literally the same thing, just some extra stuff. And by extra stuff, I just mean rhythm. What I did was just add cinematic drums, so they sound like this. Literally, just that. And more drums. Where are the other drums? Yeah, I just added the shakers even before. Pretty easy. And what I did at this time was consolidate the drop plugs or the drop leads and put them in the breakdown, and they sound like this. Second breakdown sounds like this, which is basically the drop leads and bass line. Also the chords, but without any sidechain, obviously. Where are the chords? Here. This is basically the breakdown. Listen to this. So that's basically what I did, just to create like some sort of breakdown that had a little bit more energy than the first one. And now that I remember, I added an ARP to this breakdown just to make it sound a little bit more mystical. So this is how this one sounds. And those ARPs are here. Very nice. So basically, actually, it helped a lot on adding those chords, those arps, because it stopped playing the drop melody for a second, and that's good. You want to show them, like I've said, the breakdown is basically, my breakdowns on this song are basically a deconstruction of the drop, but you cannot hear the melody all the time because it gets annoying. So here's where I add a breakdown where it actually breaks down the song a little bit so you can relax, but not for long, because then the really big part of the breakdown hits again. So let's listen to this. Study this. See? So I felt like this was very effective. It might not be for you. This track might not even be good for you, but I enjoyed it, and maybe watching this video helped you a little bit on something. I have no idea if it will, but remember what I said. When you're layering, think about what sounds you need. When you are mixing, make sure you work on the leveling and make sure you remove all the lows. And when you're creating, just do what you feel it's good. Even if you spend months making a song for a label and they don't like it, fuck it. Just release it, because at the end of the day, it was something that you actually did for you. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. I'll be making 100% more videos. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos a week. Who knows? I'll see you guys later on another video. I have a lot of videos planned, and especially how to make money with music. So stay tuned, because it's gonna be good. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.